Welcome to Little John Yarns. Today we're going to learn how to make these easy adult size crochet sneakers. I got this sneaker idea from a previous pattern I did. It was baby crochet sneakers up above. I'll leave that link below, and decided I needed an adult size sneaker. So with these shoes, you can have them in sizes 5 through 10, and if you would like, you can decorate them with emblems. You can put like a little, I don't know, on my baby sneaker I used a New Balance sign. I also have a tutorial for a crochet Nike swoosh, whatever you want to put on these little sneakers. So let's get into the material that we'll be using for these. I am using shined worsted weight yarn in 4 colors. I'm using it in black, robot, white, and red Sereno. All the information will be linked down below, and you can also follow along to the free written pattern. That'll be linked down in the description box below. Forget to add, we'll be also using a 4mm crochet hook. So the sizes will be labeled through small and large. Small will be 5 and 6, medium will be 7 and 8, and large will be size 9 and 10. And please make sure you follow along to the written gauge, which is 16 single crochet by 16 rows, is approximately 4 inches. If you want the correct size, please follow along to the written gauge. And all right, let's hop directly into this. We're going to begin with color A. For me, this is the color black. I know this is a dark yarn, but don't worry, I'm going to step you through this and you're not going to miss a stitch. And I'll also leave the written pattern up above as we're working. All right, so for a size small, you're going to chain 24 chains, medium, chain 28, and large, chain 32. Pause your video here and meet me when you complete your chains. All right, I'm going to start. For round 1, this is for all sizes. We are going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Now, for size small, you're going to single crochet into the next 10 stitches. Medium, 12 stitches, and large, single crochet into the next 14 stitches. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of single crochets for your size. We've completed those designated number of stitches. Now we're going to half double crochet into the next stitch. This is everybody. Half double crochet. Next, we're going to start some double crochets. For size small, I want you to double crochet into the next 10 stitches. For size medium, 12 stitches, and for size large, I want you to double crochet into the next 14 stitches. So pause your video here and now continue with the designated number of double crochets. We've completed those double crochets and we all should have 1 chain left. In that last chain, we're going to place 5 double crochets. I'll work it with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I'm ever going too fast, you can always slow down the video. All right, so now we're going to be working on the underneath of our work. Here's the top, and now we're going to be working on the bottom. We're just going to be working the same pattern, just backwards. All right, so for a size small, you are going to double crochet into the next 10 stitches. For a size medium, you're going to double crochet into the next 12 stitches. And for a size large, you're going to double crochet into the next 14 stitches. So pause your video here, working on the underneath of your chain. Continue with your designated number of stitches. We finished those double crochets. Now everybody is going to half double crochet into the next stitch. That's everybody. Half double crochet. Now we're going to be working single crochets. For a size small, we are going to single crochet into the next 10 stitches. For a size medium, 12, and for a size large, you're going to single crochet into the next, I'm blurring out. We're going to single crochet into the next 14 stitches. So pause your video here and please continue with the designated number of single crochets. We've made it to the very last stitch in our row and everybody should have one left. We're going to place 4 single crochets into that very last loop. I'll work it with you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and here is what your work looks like. At the end of round 1, size small should have 52 stitches. Size medium should have 60 stitches, and size large should have 68 stitches. So now we're all just going to slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet. Like I said, I know it's hard to see, but I'm going to be working this with you and writing the pattern, abbreviated pattern, up above. All right, chain 1. Your chain 1 never counts as a stitch. All right, so now we're going to be doing a group of single crochets. For size small, you're going to single crochet into the next 22 stitches, medium 26, and large next 30 stitches. So let me show you how to make that first single crochet, because sometimes people miss where we join. Your first single crochet is going to be exactly where you joined. All right, there's my first single crochet. All right, since I showed you that, please continue with the designated number of single crochets for your size. Pause your video here. We completed those single crochets going across the side of your sole, and now we are at the toe. We are going to place 2 single crochets into the next 5 stitches. Let me show you how that works. We're going to single crochet twice into that next stitch. That's 1 single crochet back into the same stitch. 2. We're going to do it again. 2 single crochet into the next stitch. That's 2. 2 single crochet into the next. 1. That's 3. 2 single crochet into the next. That's 4, and 2 single crochet into the next. That is a total of 5 times we made it around the toe area. So now let's turn our work this way. We're going to be working back down the side with another group of single crochets. All right, for a size small, you're going to single crochet into the next 22 stitches. For a size medium, you're going to single crochet into the next 26 stitches. And for a size large, please single crochet into the next 30 stitches. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of single crochets. Everybody should have 3 stitches remaining. So in the last 3 stitches, you're going to place 2 single crochets into each one of the stitches, just like you did at the toe, but only 3 times. So we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch. I'll work it with you. Back into the same stitch. That's a set of 1. Next stitch. Back into the same stitch. All right, that is a set of 2, and the very last stitch, 2 into that one. And that's a set of 3. All right, at the end of round number 2, size small should have a total of 60 stitches, size medium should have 68, and size large should have 76 stitches. All right, now let's begin round number 3. We are going to slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet. All right, so to begin round 3, we're going to chain 1. Whoops, had to look at my pattern. We are going to, for size small, we're going to start with half double crochets. We're going to half double crochet into the next 22 stitches. For size medium, half double crochet into the next 26, and large, half double crochet into the next 30 stitches. I'll work that first stitch with you because remember, your chain 1 is not a stitch. So remember to half double crochet back into that same stitch again. All right, So you can pause your video here and continue with the designated number of half double crochets for your size. We've made it to the toe area, and now we're going to do a pattern repeat of 5. So this is for everybody. We are going to place 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. Let's do that. Back into the same stitch. Half double crochet into the next stitch. All right, that is your first pattern repeat. So that was 1. I'll work it with you one more time. So we're going to place 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. Remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always slow it down. Back into the same stitch. And half double crochet into the next stitch. All right, and that was your completion of your second one. Remember, we're doing this a total of 5 times. We just completed 1, 2. I want you to complete this pattern repeat 3 more times, and I'll meet you at the completion, which is right about here. We've completed those increases around the toe area, so now we're back working on the side of your sole. So we're working some more half double crochets. For a size small, we're going to half double crochet into the next 22 stitches. For size medium, 26 stitches. For size large, half double crochet into the next 30 stitches. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of half double crochets. We are back at the heel area, and you should have a total of 6 stitches remaining at the back part of the heel. I'm going to work this last pattern repeat with you. It is just like the toe. So we are going to place 2 half double crochets into the very next stitch. Back into the same stitch. Followed by a half double crochet into the next stitch. That is your first group in your pattern repeat. We're doing this a total of 3 times. Let's do the second one. So we're going to place 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. Back into that same stitch. Followed by a half double crochet into the next stitch. That's pattern repeat number 2. Let's repeat it again. 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. Back into the same stitch. Half double crochet into the next stitch, or the last stitch. And that is your pattern repeat number 3. At the end of round number 3, size small should have a total of 68. Size medium, 76, and large should have a total of 84 stitches. So now let's begin round number 4. We can't forget to slip stitch to join into that very first stitch. Chain 1, and we all should know by now, chain 1 is not a stitch. So we're going to be doing groups of single crochets now. For a size small, you are going to single crochet into the next 11 stitches. For medium, you are going to single crochet into the next 13 stitches. And for large, you are going to single crochet into the next 15 stitches. So pause your video here and continue placing single crochets in the designated number of stitches for your size. Now we are going to half double crochet into that very next stitch. Half double crochet. All right, now we're going to start a group of double crochets. For a size small, you're going to double crochet into the next 10 stitches. For a size medium, you're going to double crochet into the next 12 stitches. And for a size large, you are going to double crochet into the next 14 stitches. So please pause your video here and continue with the designated number of double crochets. We completed those designated number of double crochets. Now we're going to start a pattern repeat that we're going to do a total of 5 times. It'll take us around the toe. So the pattern repeat, I'll write it up above, is 2 double crochets into the next stitch, followed by double crochet into the next 2 stitches. I'm going to work that with you at least twice. So now we're going to place 2 double crochets into the next stitch. Back into that same stitch again. All right, followed by a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. That means place 1 double crochet here and 1 double crochet there. Let me work it with you. So double crochet into the next 2 stitches. That's your first stitch. I know it's hard to see, but listen closely. Now go into the next stitch. That's your second double crochet. And that is your pattern repeat. That was the first one. Let's hop into the second one. 2 double crochet into the next stitch. Back into the same stitch. Followed by double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Here's 1 double crochet into that next stitch, followed by a double crochet into the next stitch. All right, that is your pattern repeat. Now what? I feel like I should show you one more time. 2 double crochets into the next stitch, because this can be tricky. Back into that same stitch. Followed by 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Place 1 here, place 1 there. That's your first one. Go into that next stitch. All right, so that is your pattern repeat. We did a total of 3. You only have to do it 2 more times. So 2 double crochet into the next stitch, followed by 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Pause your video here. We've made it around the toe area, and now we're starting back down on the side. And we're doing some double crochets again. So for a size small, you're going to double crochet into the next 10 stitches. For a size medium, double crochet into the next 12 stitches. And for a size large, you're going to double crochet into the next 14 stitches. So you can pause your video here and please continue with the designated number of double crochets. We've just completed those double crochets, and now we're on like the center of your sole. So everybody's going to half double crochet into that next stitch. It's a half double crochet and we're only doing 1. Oops, here we go. So now begins a group of single crochets. So for size small, we're going to single crochet into the next 11 stitches. For size medium, 13 stitches, and for a size large, you're going to single crochet into the next 15 stitches. So you can pause your video here and continue with the designated number of single crochets. You should have a total of 9 stitches remaining at the heel. What we're going to be doing now, our pattern repeat, is very similar to the toe, but work with single crochets. We're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Followed by 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet into the next stitch, followed by another single crochet into the next stitch. That's your first group. We're going to do 3. I'll be working with you. 2 single crochets into the next stitch. If I'm ever going too fast, you can always slow down the video. Single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet into the next stitch, followed by a single crochet into the next stitch. That's your group of 2. We got our last group left. 2 single crochets into the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So that's 1 single crochet into that next stitch, followed by a single crochet into the next stitch. And we made it around our heel. If you're following along to the pattern, at the end of round number 4, size small should have 76 stitches, size medium should have 84, and size large should have a total of 92 stitches. Okay guys, we're almost, not quite, off the black yarn, but this next round is super easy, round number 5. We are just going to slip stitch to join into that very first, let's see it, very first single crochet. Chain 1. This is for everybody, and it's super simple. We're just going to place one single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and that's it. So pause your video here for round number 5. Please place one single crochet in each stitch around, and I'll meet you at the other side. All right, we've made it around for round number 5, and we are just going to slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet as normal. All right, so now we're going to start working building up on a shoe, and this is our last round of black, thank goodness. And we're going to be working in the back loops only. I repeat, the back loops only. So we're going to chain 1. And for the very first part, we're going to do half double crochets. So for size small, we are going to back loop half double crochet into the next 8 stitches. For medium, next 10 stitches. And for large, we're going to half double crochet into the next 12 stitches. Remember, we are working in the back loops only. I know you cannot see what I'm doing in this black yarn, but please work into the back loops only for the designated number of stitches for your size. So pause your video here and I'll meet you when you're completed. We've completed those half double crochets. Now we're going to do a group of single crochets. I repeat, single crochets, and we are still working in the back loops only. So for size small, you're going to back loop single crochet into the next 23 stitches, medium 25 stitches, and large single crochet into the next 27 stitches. So pause your video here and continue with those back loop single crochets for the designated number of stitches for your size. We've made it to the toe area of your work, and we're going to single crochet 2 together 3 times. But remember, we are working in the back loops only. So let's single crochet 2 together. I know this is hard to see, but I'll speak it out loud. So go into the back loop of the first stitch, pull up a loop. Back loop of the next stitch, pull up a loop. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Let's do it another time. Remember, back loops only. Back loops of the next stitch, pull up a loop. Back loop of the next stitch, pull up a loop. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's your second group. And your last group, back loop of your next stitch, back loop of your next stitch, 3 loops, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So that was simple. So now another simple part, we're just going to be working a group of single crochets going down the side of your work. So for size small, you are going to single crochet into the next 22 stitches. For size medium, the next 24 stitches, and for size large, single crochet into the next 26 stitches. And remember, we are working in the back loops only. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of stitches for your size. We've completed those single crochet, and now we're just going to back loop half double crochet all the way to the end of the row. That's for everybody. So you can pause your video here and continue placing 1 half double crochet in each stitch until the end of the row. All right, we've made it to the last stitch of this round, and remember, it's a back loop single crochet. I like to change colors on that last stitch, so you can just fasten off this black and add your secondary color. I think this is B. I'm using Robot or Roboto, that's the color of this one. And pull through to transition your colors, tighten everything up. All right, at the end of this round, size small should have 73 stitches, medium 81 stitches, and large should have 89 stitches. Let's slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet. All right, so yay, we are on a different color, color B. So to begin, we are going to chain 1. We're going to be working in both stitches for the rest of this pattern. For a size small, we are going to double crochet into the next 9 stitches. For medium, 11 stitches, And for a size large, you're going to double crochet into the next 13 stitches. Remember, this chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so go right back into that same stitch to start your double crochets. So pause your video here and continue with your designated number of double crochets. All right, we completed those double crochets. Now we're going to be starting slip stitches. Please do not slip stitch too tight because you'll find it difficult working back into the stitches again on the next round. So for a size small, you are going to slip stitch into the next 18 stitches. For a medium, slip stitch into the next 20 stitches. And for a large, you're going to slip stitch into the next 22 stitches. So remember, you're just going to go into that next stitch, insert your hook, and slip stitch. Please do not slip stitch tight. Make sure you're doing this loose. If it looks kind of wobbly, that's fine. Just make sure it's loose. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of slip stitches for your size. We completed those slip stitches, and now we're going to do a pattern repeat around the toe area. Pattern repeat of 4. So we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together, followed by a single crochet. I'll work it with you. Single crochet 2 stitches together, followed by a single crochet. That's 1. Single crochet 2 stitches together, followed by a single crochet. That's your second grouping. Single crochet 2 together, followed by a single crochet. That's your third grouping, and single crochet 2 together, followed by a single crochet. And that is your fourth grouping, and we just made it around the toe area. Let me check my pattern, and now we're going to be doing the reverse from this side. We're going to be doing some slip stitching again, and remember, do not slip stitch tight. For size small, we're going to slip stitch into the next 18 stitches. For size medium, 20 stitches, and for size large, you're going to slip stitch into the next 22 stitches. So pause your video here and slip stitch loosely the designated number of stitches. We've completed those slip stitch. Now we're going to be working groups of double crochets. So for a size small, you're going to double crochet into the next 8 stitches. For a size medium, 10 stitches, and for 12, for large, you're going to double crochet into the next 12 stitches. I know it's a big jump up, but it's going to make the shoe look pretty cool from that slip stitch. Just pull up a little bit and work into that next stitch to get your double crochet. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of double crochets for your size. We made it to the back part of our heel, and now we're just going to do a pattern repeat. Don't worry, I'm going to work it with you. We're going to start with a double crochet 2 stitches together. So yarn over, go into that next stitch, pull up a loop like you're about to start a regular double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, but stop right here. We're going to go into that next stitch, insert your hook, and pull up a loop. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. That is a double crochet 2 together. The next part of your pattern repeat is a double crochet. We're just going to do that across. So double crochet 2 together, yarn over. Next stitch, start your regular double crochet as normal. Yarn over and stop there. Go into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through the first 2. Yarn over, pull through the last 3. And double crochet in the next. And now we have our last double crochet 2 stitches together. Yarn over, go into that next stitch, start your double crochet as normal, then go into the next stitch to finish it off. All right, at the end of round number 7, size small should have 66 stitches, size medium 74, and size large should have 82 stitches. Now we're just going to slip stitch to join into that very first double crochet. We're going to be staying with this color for one more round. So chain 1, this row is super easy. We are going to single crochet into that very same space again. And single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So pause your video here, continue placing one single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you at the other side. We made it to the end of round number 8, and we're just going to slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet. Let me make sure that's the first single crochet. Chain 1, there we go. And we are going to fasten off our work. All right, so now we're going to be placing a running slip stitch, or some people call it a surface crochet, in between the gray and the black. I forget which letters is, in between the A and the B colors. So let me show you exactly how we're going to do that. To start your running slip stitch or surface crochet, I like to start with a slip knot. It just makes connecting everything a lot easier. So you're going to find the back of your sneaker, which is the part with the double crochets, and insert your hook as close as you can in between colors A and B, which is, for me, that's black and gray. And when you're doing this running slip stitch, please slip stitch loosely. If you're a tight crocheter, go up a crochet hook, because if you make this too tight, it will change the shape and the size of your slipper. So please slip stitch loosely. All right, so whoop, I dropped my yarn. Let me get this connected. So put your loop on your hook and pull through. All right, I got that. So what we're going to do, I know it's hard to see because part of this is black. Let me move this out the way. We're just going to go into that very next stitch, which is right here. And take your working yarn and slip stitch through. And remember, do this lightly, please. I'll show you again. Go into that next space you see right here. Grab the yarn from the back and slip stitch through. This creates your running slip stitch. I'll show you once more, as close as you can in between the two colors. Behind your work. And slip stitch through. All right, you're going to do this all the way around your slipper or your sneaker, and I'll meet you when you get back to the other side, and I'll show you how to slip stitch to join. We've made it back around from our running slip stitch, so I want you to pull your hook out and pull your loop long. In order to tie this off seamlessly, I like to flip it inside out and stick my hole through that first section right here. The hole will kind of go up through, let's see if I can get it. Come on, that middle stitch. Can you see? It came up through that middle stitch. Now I'm just going to grab that loop and pull it back through the hole. Let's see if it goes through seamlessly. And it did. So I'm just going to pull that tight and do a little chain. Actually, I might do one more chain. There we go. And fasten off your work. And now you can't really tell too much where it was joined. Well, you can kind of see mine a little bit, but make sure you do yours a little bit better than mine. Now we're going to attach the new color, this part of the shoe right here. Mine is red. We're going to find the join of your 8th row, which is right here, and count 3 stitches back. So here's your join. Count 3 stitches back to the right. 1, 2, 3. This is where we're going to connect our yarn. I like to put a little slip knot to help me out. And once your yarn is attached, chain 1. For a size small, you're going to single crochet into the next 15 stitches. For a size medium, 17 stitches. And for a size large, single crochet into the next 19 stitches. Remember to this very first stitch right here, work your single crochet into. All right, so pause your video here. Continue placing single crochets for the designated number of stitches. Now begins a pattern repeat. We're going to repeat this pattern 3 times, and it's slightly different for each size. So before I show it to you, I'm going to write it above. So for a size small, you're going to single crochet together, followed by 15 single crochets. For medium, single crochet together, followed by 17 single crochets. And for large, single crochet together, followed by 19 single crochets. You're going to repeat that pattern sequence 3 times. That's going to take you all the way around your sneaker. So remember that first stitch is single crochet, 2 stitches together, followed by the designated number of stitches for your size. Repeat that grouping 3 times, and I'll meet you when you make it to the end of your round. We've made it to the end of round number 9, and your stitch count for size small should be 63, medium 71, and large your stitch count should be 79. So let's slip stitch to join to finish off this round. And chain 1 to begin round number 10. For size small, you are going to single crochet into the next 28 stitches. For size medium, single crochet into the next 32 stitches. And for size large, you're going to single crochet into the next 36 stitches. So you can pause your video here, continue placing single crochets for the designated number for your size. We made it to the toe area, and now we're just going to single crochet 2 together 3 times. I'll work it with you. So let's single crochet together the first time. 1, 2, and the last time, and 3. So now you're just going to place, for everybody, we're just going to single crochet, a regular single crochet, all the way to the very end of this round. So just from here to the end. So pause your video here, continue placing single crochets into the very end of the round. At the end of round number 10, size small should have 60 stitches, medium 68, and large should have 76 stitches. So let's slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet. Chain 1 to begin round number 11. So for size small, you are going to single crochet into the next 26 stitches. For size medium, 30 stitches. And for size large, you're going to single crochet into the next 34 stitches. So pause your video here, and I'll meet you at the completion of those stitches. We've made it to the toe area, and now we're going to do a pattern repeat of 4. We're going to single crochet together, followed by a normal single crochet. I'll work it with you. Single crochet together. If I move too fast, you can always pause or slow down, followed by a single crochet. That's 1. Single crochet together, followed by a single crochet. That's 2. Single crochet together, followed by a single crochet. That's 3. 1 more. Single crochet together, followed by a single crochet. Now you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way to the end of the round, and I'll meet you when it's time to slip stitch to join. So pause your video here. We've made it to the end of round number 11, and small should have 56 stitches, medium 64, and large should have 72 stitches. Let's slip stitch to join. And chain 1 to start round number 12. For size small, you are going to single crochet into the next 21 stitches. For size medium, 25 stitches, and for size large, you're going to single crochet into the next 29 stitches. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of single crochets. We made it to the toe area of our sneaker. So what we're all going to do next, we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Now we're going to do a pattern repeat of 3. We're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches, followed by a single crochet together. I'll work it with you. So place 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. That's 1, next stitch, 2, followed by a single crochet together. All right, that's the first part of your pattern repeat complete. So now we have 2 more. So single crochet into the next 2 stitches, followed by a single crochet together. That's 2, and one more time, single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And single crochet 2 stitches together. Now we're just going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch until you make it to the back part of your heel. So pause your video here, and everybody single crochet all the way to the end. We've made it to the end of round number 12, and size small should have 52 stitches, medium 60, and large should have 68 stitches. So let's slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet and chain 1 to start round number 13. For size small, you're going to single crochet into the next 17 stitches, medium 21 stitches, and large single crochet into the next 25 stitches. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of single crochets. Now it's going to begin another pattern repeat that we're going to repeat 6 times. I'm going to work it 1 time with you, and remember, I'll always write it up above or down below. So the pattern repeat is single crochet 2 stitches together, followed by a single crochet. That is 1, and that is your pattern repeat. I want you to repeat that a total of 6 times. So pause your video here and complete this pattern repeat. Okay, we just completed our pattern repeat, and you should be about right here on your sneaker. So now we're just going to continue placing single crochets all the way to the end of this round. So pause your video here and continue placing single crochets into the very end of the round. At the end of round number 13, small should have 46 stitches, medium 54, and large should have 62 stitches. So let's slip stitch to join into that very first single crochet and chain 1 to start round number 14. For size small, you're going to single crochet into the next 14 stitches. For size medium, you're going to single crochet into the next 18 stitches. And for size large, you're going to single crochet into the next 22 stitches. So pause your video here and continue with the designated number of single crochets. Now we're going to start another pattern repeat. We're going to repeat this 6 times total. So you are going to single crochet 2 stitches together. It's just like the previous row, followed by a single crochet into the next. All right, so that was 1, and we're going to do this a total of 6 times. So that was your first one. So pause your video here, continue with this pattern repeat, and I'll meet you for the rest of the row. Okay, we just made it around the toe area, and we're just going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch into the very end of this round. Simple as that. So pause your video here, continue placing 1 single crochet to the end of the round, and I'll meet you when it's time to slip stitch to join. We've made it to the end of round number 14, and small should have 40 stitches, medium 48, and large should have 56 stitches. So let's slip stitch to join into the top of that very first single crochet. And you can fasten off your work right here. Now we're just going to add your original color. I guess color A. For me, that color is black, the one that matches the sole. And what I'm going to be doing here, I'm just going to be putting a slip stitch all the way around the border of my shoe. There we go, and let's start slip stitching. And remember, once again, whenever you are slip stitching, please do it loosely, because it can change the size of your slipper, your shoe, or whatever you're working on. All right, so pause your video here and complete your slip stitching all the way around the outside part of your shoe. Next, we're going to be creating this front toe area flap right here. So in order to find this section, we'll be working on the front loops. Remember the black row where you worked in the back loops only? I know it's hard to see, but I want you to lift up your slipper right now and look for those front loops that are still open. In order to find your centermost 10 stitches on your toe, it's simple. Fold your work in half, Find those loops, those open front loops, and count over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert your hook. All right, so now you have your hook inserted. Let's attach our yarn. I'm working back with the main color, color A, which is black for me. And what we're going to do, we're going to be placing single crochets across 10 stitches. So let's start by chaining 1 and single crochet into the next 10 front loop stitches. So pause your video here and continue placing 10 front loop single crochets. All right, we finished that first row of the toe flap, so let's start our second row. This row is going to be a repeat row, so watch closely. So what we're going to do for the first one is chain 1, turn your work. We are going to single crochet 2 stitches together. Remember, go in a first loop, pull up a loop, second stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now, I just want you to place 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across until you only have 2 stitches remaining. So I'm going to do that with you for this row. So keep single crocheting all the way across until you have only 2 stitches remaining. We're going to be reducing on both sides of your row here. All right, so here are my 2 stitches remaining. I'm going to single crochet 2 together. Pull up a loop, next stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now, we're just going to repeat this row right here 2 more times. So this next row, reduce on this side, reduce on this side. Then turn your work, reduce on this side and reduce on that side, and I'll meet you when you're done. Once your toe tab is done, this is what it should look like, and you should have 4 stitches remaining. Now we're just going to take it and we're just going to fold it over and sew in between the color transitions where my gray and red meets, whatever your colors is, and we're going to sew it down right there. Let me show you on the finished shoe. Can you see it's sewed there? I am not a sewer, so I'm not going to show you exactly how I sew things because it's probably embarrassing, but pretty much anything will work. Attach a needle and start seaming. So pause your video here and continue with sewing this part of your shoe. This is what the toe area looks like all sewed down. So now we're going to be working on the heel tab. In order to find the heel tab, we're going to be working in the center 5 stitches of the heel, and that's pretty easy to find. Once again, fold your slipper in half, go to the back, find the center stitch, and count about 2 over from the center stitch. 1, 2. And insert your hook. It does not have to be perfect, but as center as you can get it. All right, so we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet across 5 stitches. I'll work it with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As simple as that, okay? You'll probably have to move these around, but you'll be able to cover this when the heel tab comes back over. So don't worry about these little gappy spaces there. So for your next 5 rows, you're just going to chain 1, turn your work, and single crochet in each stitch across. So pause your video here, continue placing 1 single crochet in each stitch for the next 5 rows. All right, we completed those additional rows, and I want you to fasten off your work and leave a long tail for sewing. So what you're going to do, once again, we're going to attach our yarn, and you can fold over your tab just like this, and take your needle and sew it along your line right here. Once again, I'm not going to show you how to sew because I am not the best sewer, but take this and sew it around the black line. All right, now it's time to move on to the tongue. I want you to turn your work inside out. Right now, we're going to be building a bridge to the tongue of your shoe. Let me show you on the one that's already completed. So right here, you see this little floppy thing right here? We're going to make a chain to bridge the tongue to be attached to the shoe. So let me show you exactly how I do that. So everybody follow along carefully. I want you to find the center opening of your shoe. So here's the top, and remember, we're inside out. We're going to count 3 rows down. 1, 2, 3. Then move horizontally to your right. And right in between your color transitions, this is where you're going to attach your yarn. Let's do it again. Drop 3 rows down. 1, 2, 3. And attach yarn right about here. Okay, so once you do that, make your slip knot and attach your matching yarn that goes right here. I think this is for me, color D. I'm not sure if you're following along to the written pattern. I always forget what color I am and what's the letter name for it. All right, so now you have that attached. We are going to chain 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we have our 10 chains. What we're going to do is take your chain and lay it perfectly across where it matches the other side. So you're parallel right here to here. Let me get mine perfect. All right, I'm going to get my slip stitch. Oop, got it. Okay, so this is your foundation. What we're going to do now, we are going to chain 1, turn your work. We're not going to be working into the stitches of these chains. We're going to be crocheting around the stitches. So right now, I want you to go underneath and just crochet as normal, 13 stitches. So this is 1. Remember, go underneath, 2. So everybody please crochet, single crochet 13 stitches going across, and I'll meet you when you're done. For your next row, we are going to chain 1, turn your work, place 2 single crochets into this first stitch. We're increasing. So that's 1 stitch, back into the same stitch again. Now we're just going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across until we make it to the very last one, which will do an increase. So pause your video here and I'll meet you when you make it to your very last stitch. We made it to the last stitch of this row and we're going to place 2 single crochets into that stitch. 1, back into the same stitch, and 2. Everybody should have a total of 15 single crochets going across this row. All right, the next 10 rows are going to be exactly the same. So you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and just place 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across for 10 rows. So pause your video here, continue placing 1 single crochet in each stitch for a total of 10 rows. Here's what the tongue area looks like after your 10 rows are completed. Now the next 3 rows are going to be a pattern repeat. We are going to reduce, single crochet together the first 2 stitches and single crochet together the last 2 stitches of your row. So let me show you how it's done for the first row. You're going to chain 1, turn your work, and single crochet 2 stitches together. Yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches. So now pause your video here and continue single crocheting all the way across until you make it into your last 2 stitches. So pause your video here and I'll meet you at your last 2 stitches. We made it to the last 2 stitches and we are going to single crochet 2 stitches together. Chain 1, turn your work. I want you to repeat this last row 2 more times. So pause your video here and I'll meet you at the completion of your 2 rows. Now we did those 2 additional rows of decreases. You're just going to fasten off your work and turn your slipper or your sneaker to the right side out, and this is what it looks like. You'll notice a little gap right here, but once your foot is in, this pushes down. Now you'll need to make some laces. I just used some thinner yarn, chained about 100, and you would just weave up your tennis shoe like you usually would. So let me show you what this looks like all complete. Just in case somebody asks, where's your lace holes? You'll be making your own lace holes with the natural holes in your crochet. What I do, I just thread my needle and imagine where I want my laces to go. And just sew it on, or sew, seam, lace. There we go. Next one, I want mine to kind of look like it's wrapped. See how I got it going across? I wrap this over and go over this way. And I'll just keep doing that back and forth until I make nice laces. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you check me out on the very next one.